If money has drifted away from you, it is not a punishment, it is a sign. A whisper from Spirit saying, "My child, you are living outside the law." Have you ever felt, no matter how hard you work, how wisely you save, how fervently you pray, money always seems to stay one breath away? As if you're standing behind an invisible veil seeing abundance, yet never quite touching it. People often believe that money comes from work, from investments, from the market. But the deeper truth is this money flows from an unseen dimension, a realm where your words are commands, your emotions are codes, and your beliefs are the lantern lighting the path of your financial destiny. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, "When you tune into the right vibration, all good rushes to you without your chasing it." So if today you're struggling with money, do not blame yourself. You have not failed. You have simply stepped outside the law. Today, I will guide you through the 7 soul gates, the hidden spiritual laws silently shaping the flow of wealth in your life. These laws do not ask you to try harder. They ask you to let go at the right time, speak the right word, think in the right direction. You will understand why some speak a word and the universe moves, while others do everything and still money slips away. You will discover how to turn every word you speak into a magnet for prosperity. Transform every act of spending into a ritual of blessing. And then I will gift you the 7-day map to living by the spiritual laws of Monea, simple, powerful system that would make Florence smile watching you put truth into practice. Now gently place your hand over your heart and whisper, "I no longer need to control. I let the law perform its miracle." And now let us step into the first law, the vibrational foundation of all wealth. The law of vibration and inner frequency. Close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, if money were an echo, what sound are you sending out? Is it a melody of peace and trust, or a frantic rhythm of anxiety, scarcity, and fear? Dear one, everything you experience, money, relationships, opportunities, is but a faithful mirror of the frequency you're living in. Florence Scovel Shinn called this your inner rhythm, where your words, beliefs, emotions, and actions converge to create your reality. We do not attract what we want. We attract what we are. Florence Scovel Shinn. Everything moves by frequency. All is energy. You, me, money. Even anxiety and gratitude. Every emotion is a vibration. And the first law says you can only receive what you are in harmony with. When you feel fear around money, you cannot attract abundance because abundance doesn't reside at that frequency. When you complain repeatedly, you are simply broadcasting, "I am in lack." And the universe, faithful as a waiter, delivers what you've ordered. How do you recognize your current frequency? This is the step many overlook. But Florence said, those who don't know what they're broadcasting live their lives in constant reaction. Each morning ask yourself, do I feel light, expansive, grateful, high frequency, or heavy, anxious, withdrawn, low frequency? Another simple way. Look at what keeps showing up in your life. Delays, unexpected expenses, or graceful, timely flows of money. Everything you receive is a signal of what you're sending. How to shift your frequency, starting today. Florence never asked you to fight to change. She simply guided you inward to adjust at the root using your words, your inner pictures, and your feelings. Here are 3 tools she recommended. Write words of affirmation. Money flows to me easily, naturally, and continuously. Imaging game, visualize yourself opening your wallet, and it's overflowing. Feel genuine joy in that moment. Small acts, big energy. When you spend, say, I send love out, and it returns multiplied. Money hasn't left you. You've just been speaking a different language. If you've ever felt like money avoids you, it's not because you're unworthy. It's because the frequency you're living in doesn't speak money's language. You're speaking fear, and money only understands gratitude. You're speaking urgency, and money comes to calm, relaxed hearts. Florence said soft words carry great power. Change the whispers within, and watch the miracle unfold. I change the world changes. Americans often believe that change begins on the outside. Change jobs earn, more cut back. But true transformation begins within, when you shift from, I don't have enough to, I already have all I need. The outer world rearranges itself to match you. If you're here now, you are not alone. Thousands around the world are learning to listen to their own vibrations and rewrite their money story with ease, sacredness, and freedom. Share your reflections below. What is your frequency today, and how would you like to lift it? When you write it, you begin to command your energy. When you read others, you remember you belong to a rebirthing community. In the next part, we'll explore the second law, the law of the word. Because every sentence you speak is a spell. Every phrase you repeat is a vibrational contract with your future. You will learn how to use your words as a magic wand to call in unexpected opportunities, calm invisible worries, rebuild a loving relationship with money. Florence once said, "By your word you are set free, and by your word you are bound." So take a deep breath and prepare to step into law number 2, the power of the word. The one who masters their words masters their destiny. Florence Scovel Shinn. Have you ever caught yourself saying, I don't have money. Money comes and goes. I'm just unlucky with money. And then that became your reality. It wasn't coincidence. It was the law of the word quietly at work. This law declares every word you utter is a vibrational command sent into the bank of the universe. In every spiritual tradition, words are sacred. In Genesis, it is written, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. Florence echoed, by your word you are set free, and by your word you are bound. Each word you speak as light as air leaves an imprint on your subconscious and in the energy field of the universe. When you say I'm always broke, you're not just describing reality, you're anchoring that frequency into your future. Most people don't realize the words they speak are often echoes of hidden fear. They fear sounding delusional if they speak positively. They fear that hope may lead to disappointment. They fear rejection if they dare to ask for abundance. But Florence reminds us, if you cannot speak, truth remains silent. But if you do speak, speak words of light. You don't need to shout. You only need to speak in frequency. Like a magic wand, every word carries the power to rearrange your reality. Here are 10 healing declarations, affirmations recommended by Florence, which you can begin using today. I have a magical wallet every time I spend more money returns. Money comes to me naturally, easily, and divinely. I speak words of abundance, and I am answered. Each time I spend, I plant a seed of light for a bountiful harvest. I don't chase money. Money seeks me. I only speak words that raise my vibration. I am a keeper of words, and my words lead to prosperity. Nothing blocks money from coming to me, for I do not block myself with speech. Each word I speak is a seed, and I plant only what I wish to harvest. I am surrounded by words of wealth, kindness, and grace. Choose one and repeat it throughout your day, while washing dishes, driving, or before sleep. Your frequency will shift, and money will hear your voice. You don't need complex rituals, just intention and sincerity. Each morning, whisper an affirmation in front of the mirror. Each time you spend, bless the moment. Go and return with joy. When a fearful thought arises, pivot with a word of light. Instead of, I don't know if I'll have enough this month, say, money comes to me in unexpected ways and always right on time. You don't have to shift your words, your mindset, or your money journey alone. There is a community awakening, and we need one another to strengthen our voices. Share below. Have you ever spoken something and it came true? What's your favorite affirmation? When you write it, you raise your vibration. When you read others, you remember you are not alone. We've just explored how words spark vibration. But next, we'll dive into the nature of money itself. It must circulate. Like a river, it cannot be dammed. In the next part, you'll learn why giving unlocks greater receiving, how spending can become a sacred ritual, and how to avoid financial blockages caused by fear of loss. Florence said, money is a current not to be held, but to be directed. I'll see you in the next chapter. The law of circulation, the secret of those who never run out of money. The flow of money is the flow of trust. If you choke the river for fear of losing water, it will dry up. Florence Scovel Shinn. Money is energy. It does not stand still. It resists blockage. And it never lingers where fear is in control. Money only flows where it knows it can flow through. What is the law of circulation? The law of circulation says, you don't own money, you are the steward of its flow. Just as you don't own your breath, you inhale, you exhale. Try holding your breath too long and you suffocate. So it is with money. If you cling, if you fear spending, if you hesitate to share, you strangle the very supply you're waiting for. The scarcity mindset. If I spend, I lose. The sense of lack is an illusion kept alive by fear. I don't know when money will come again. I should hold on to this just in case. I don't have enough to share right now, but Florence taught, the one who fears loss has already cut off the flow. You don't lose when you spend in right vibration. You send money as a messenger of love, and it returns, carrying more. Situation 1. You walk into a store needing new shoes. Instead of thinking, this is too expensive, I'll be broke, whisper, I'm grateful to invest in my comfort. This money is a seed for style and strength. Situation 2. You pay the electric bill. Instead of, why is this so high again? Say, I'm grateful for light, warmth and connection. I bless the current that serves me. Situation 3. You lend a small sum to someone. Instead of feeling unsure, say, I'm not giving away, I'm giving flow. I'm not losing, I'm expanding. Situation 4. You invest in a course. Instead of hesitating, is this worth it? Declare, I'm not investing in information. I'm investing in a new frequency where money meets me with ease. How to activate the law of circulation. Spend with gratitude. Whether it's a coffee or a plane ticket, speak a blessing as you pay. Declare the energy of your money as it leaves. Go and return multiplied. I sow this seed for a magical harvest. Avoid money-blocking phrases like, there goes more money. Spending like this, I'll be broke. Replace with, I am cycling the energy of prosperity. I circulate and I am refilled. Be the flow, not the dam. One of Florence's most beautiful metaphors, I am a channel, not a container. The universe pours into me because I do not close. When you live like a river, you are always full. Ask yourself, how do I spend gratefully or fearfully? Do I trust that money returns? Who am I in this flow, the block or the blessing? Share below. When was the last time you spent with joy? What investment has brought an unexpected gift? Comment to amplify our frequency of circulation. Let us remember, we are not alone in this sacred healing of our relationship with money. You've begun to circulate money, but one more step will make this flow feel natural and miraculous, living as if what you desire has already come. Florence called it the sacred assumption. It is not pretending, it is activating faith through felt experience. In the next part, you'll discover how to feel wealthy even when the account is low, how to use imagination to retune your vibration, and why imagination is the most powerful tool the universe has given you. Join me in Part 4, the Law of Assumption. Thinking isn't enough, you must feel it. One who does not imagine what they desire lives by memory, not by intuition. Florence Scovel Shinn. If I asked you, what does it mean to live in abundance? What would you describe? A flourishing bank account, effortless travels free from calculations, freedom from the worry that haunts every bill. But more important than your answer is the feeling behind your words. Because Florence once said, you do not attract what you dream. You attract what you already are in mind and feeling. The law of assumption. Everything you feel is a vibrational command. This law tells us, when you feel wealthy even before you see it, you've already placed your order in the universal bank. You don't need money in hand to know you're wealthy. You need to feel wealthy so that money has a reason to appear. This is not fantasy. Florence called it a creative ritual. She said, "Don't ask. When will it come? Ask. Am I vibrating right now?" The mental block. How can I feel rich when I'm in debt? This is the human paradox. We wait until things arrive before we allow joy. But it's the lack of joy that keeps them from arriving. Florence didn't ask you to pretend she asked you to choose your feeling, because feelings are the foundation of all results. You may be in debt, but you can still feel. I am learning to master money. I am being led to a source without limits. I am aligned with the flow of abundance. A 7-day journey to embody the feeling of abundance. Day 1. Breathe like the wealthy. Inhale as if you're breathing fresh air at a luxurious resort. Exhale fear and worry. Affirmation: I breathe in peace. I release old limits. Day 2. Eat like one nourished by the universe. Bless each bite as if it came from heaven. Eat slowly, knowing you are never forsaken. Affirmation: all I need comes right on time. Day 3. Look around as if you're living your dream. Touch your phone, clean water, your clothes with deep gratitude. Affirmation: I am living the story I once dreamed. Day 4. Shop like someone investing in joy. Even for a chocolate bar buy with the mindset I am worthy. Affirmation: I send joy out and receive abundance in return. Day 5. Write a letter to your future self. Describe how you feel 6 months from now when miracles have arrived. Affirmation: I live in the vibration of my highest self. Day 6. Act as if it's already yours. Do something you've delayed out of fear of not enough. Affirmation: I act as one fully supported by unseen grace. Day 7. Sit in silence and visualize. Close your eyes for 3 minutes. Picture your bank account full. Feel the peace, the freedom, and whisper thanks. Affirmation: I receive. I agree. I open. Imagination is not pretend, it is the blueprint of vibration. Do not let current reality trap you in fear. Florence taught reality is the delayed reflection of inner belief. Create a new mold, and reality must follow. Imagine you have it, feel it, and you're already reshaping the future. Share below, what feeling do you wish to embody? Which day from the 7-day journey have you tried? Each comment sends out a new vibration and may become someone else's moment of awakening. We are co-creating a community that lives by faith, not fear. And you are an essential part of that. You've learned to feel as if your desire has already arrived, but there is one more divine step. Turn every physical act, giving, spending, donating into an energetic ritual. Florence called this sowing, with both heart and word. In the next part, you will discover how to declare each act of giving as a financial seed, why joyful givers often become wealthy quickest, and how to build a spiritual reservoir through blessings. Join me in part 5, The Law of Sacred Giving. Giving isn't loss, it's opening. Every time you give with a blessing, you send a message to the universe. I'm ready to receive more. Florence Scovel Shinn. There's a false belief that's lingered in human minds for centuries: to give is to lose. But for Florence and all awakened souls, true giving is the activation of financial rebirth. Florence never treated giving as a moral duty. She saw it as a vibrational ritual. Every time you give with a blessing, you're not just offering a thing, you're offering a frequency. And that frequency returns not just to you, but to everyone you touch. Instead of silently handing over a coin, speak out loud or in your heart, I send this love forth, and it returns to me tenfold expanded. Old beliefs that block prosperity. When I have more, then I'll share. I'm lacking now, I can't think of others. If I give what, if I'm left with nothing? Florence said, no one is ever ready to give if they believe they must first have more. Giving is the gateway to enoughness. She made clear distinctions. Giving out of fear of punishment, guilt-ridden heavy energy. Giving to receive, calculating rushed energy. Sacred giving with blessing. Calm, expansive energy. Imagine giving someone $5 and saying, I bless you, and I know I've just planted a seed of light. You didn't lose $5. You just invested in a new stream of the Universe One where you confirmed I live in abundance. You don't need grand donations. You don't need to give away thousands. What matters is the frequency behind the act. Florence taught her students to tip with a smile, gift a book with a blessing, send small presents with the affirmation, I multiply joy in you and in me. Sacred giving ritual, a daily practice. Step 1. Choose what you wish to give. A bit of money, an item, a kind act. Step 2. Sit silently for 1 minute. Place your hand over your heart and say, I am a channel of abundance. I send love and receive grace. Step 3. As you give, smile and declare, this is a seed. It will grow into a forest of light in my life. Step 4. Breathe, release, and let go of the outcome. Because you're not sowing to demand you sow, because you trust the law always works. Real-life examples of sacred giving. Giving $10 to someone unhoused. I give you trust. We are both guided. Buying coffee for the person behind you in line. I circulate joy, and it will return when I least expect it. Sending money to a friend in hardship. I invest in kindness, and the universe invests in me. Share below. When was the last time you practiced sacred giving? Have you ever received a surprise blessing after giving from the heart? When you share, you inspire. When you read others, you awaken deeper trust. We are a community that understands wealth is not about accumulation, it is sacred circulation. You've now walked through 5 laws: the law of vibration, the law of the word, the law of circulation, the law of assumption, the law of sacred giving. And now you are ready to step into the deepest connection to become a conscious creator, living by light and intuition. In the final part, we will reflect on the journey, ground ourselves with simple, powerful practices, and send a sacred promise to ourselves so we never return to the old way of living. I'll see you in the next part, coming home to the temple within. You are the inner image you carry. When you clothe yourself in the identity of the wealthy, the universe brings it into form. Florence Scovel Shinn. Who are you living as today? Someone who tenses every time they open their wallet. Someone who prides themselves on having had just enough. Or someone who receives, holds, and honors abundance with grace. The law of identity teaches every title you claim is a signal sent to the universe. Only when you act in harmony with that name will life respond accordingly. When you say I am wealthy, you're not just respecting language, you are placing yourself into a new frequency. Florence reminded us identity is not found in a bank account, but in a strong sacred belief in who you are. You must live as the person you wish to become before you possess what they have. Daily identity affirmations, Florence style. I am one to whom money naturally flows because of my creativity. I am a channel of abundance, not just for me, but for those around me. I am someone who uses money as a tool for value and love. I am the keeper of calm and flexible vibration, no matter the circumstance. I live in faith, not in fear. I am open to receive all that is good. I am someone the universe delights in favoring, and I know it. I am the one money stays with because I respect myself and my worth. Choose one. Say it in the mirror each morning. And within, feel every cell in you become that person of wealth. How to live as your new identity. Each day, 1. Act in small ways that reflect your name. If you're the one money stays with, then pay for classes, rent books, or invest in wellness, even in small amounts. Each act affirms your chosen identity. 2. Speak and think in unity. If you're the one who lives in abundance, avoid sarcastic jokes about money. Instead, affirm silently, I have enough. I always have enough. 3. Hold steady vibration. When fear arises, remind yourself even the wealthy feel doubt, but they don't let it lead. Real-life examples. When receiving a paycheck. Don't finally say, I am someone who is renewed each month through my talents. When paying rent. Don't feel guilty about wasting money. Say, I am one who invests in a peaceful sanctuary for my soul. When helping someone, say, I give from fullness, not from pressure. I am one who opens their arms from abundance. Share below, what name or identity do you choose for yourself today? How have you embodied that identity this past day? When you share, you strengthen your own self-image and pave the way for others to follow. Together, we become a community that lives from powerful names, each with a unique identity, but all tuned to the same frequency. You've now mastered vibration, word, circulation, assumption, giving, and identity. But is that enough to pull the energy toward you? The next part reveals the law of obedience, where action becomes rhythm and outcomes become inevitable. You will learn, how to commit every day, not just when you feel inspired. Why consistency matters more than temporary motivation. And how to follow the law until money can no longer resist coming to you. See you in part 8, the law of obedience, when will becomes willingness. It's not every time you try harder that you move forward. It's when you walk daily with your intention, then the universe begins to follow your rhythm. Florence Scovel Shinn. You've traveled through the 7 laws: vibration, word, circulation, assumption, sacred giving, alignment, and identity. But all of these are scattered sparks unless they are anchored by the law of obedience, where you transform insight into rhythm, and your will becomes an irresistible pull. Daily commitment, small acts. Tremendous power, Florence once said. The law doesn't seek perfection, it responds to consistency. You don't need to get it right 100% of the time. You just need to return to your affirmations, your rituals, your chosen frequency, especially in moments of doubt, fatigue, or hesitation. 2 minutes of morning affirmations or spiritual routine. 30 seconds of mindful breathing, midday, reaffirming your frequency. A nightly reflection. Which law did I embody today? Weekly journal, what transformation have I noticed? These are not mere suggestions. They are the threads that weave a divine habit, where each step says I am the one who believes even when I don't yet see. Therefore results must come. The spirit of obedience. Beyond temporary effort. Many have spiritually awakened only to fall into the trap of I understood, but I forgot. Why? Because they treated practice as a task not as essential as breathing. Florence wrote, the law does not bargain with temporary devotion. You can skip a day, but you must not quit. You may forget, but you must choose to return. That's obedience, not as control, but as love for the version of yourself you've committed to becoming. Action is the evidence of alignment. Deep inside, we know speaking is easy. Living it is sacred. Without action, your chosen identity remains just words. Real-life examples. If you declared, I am one who circulates wealth, donate a small amount to a charity today. If you said, I trust in infinite supply, gift yourself a course or item without guilt. If you chose, I'm committed to the law, complete at least 1 day of your 7-day spiritual covenant. Each act becomes a vow spoken by your cells saying, I don't just desire, I am living it now. Share in the comments below. What have you done today to obey the law? What challenges are you facing? What support or insight do you need? Every comment is a reminder to yourself and to our collective circle that we are returning to the path. When we support each other, obedience is no longer a burden, it becomes a shared journey of faith. In the final part, we will integrate everything spirit and reality, faith and form. You will reflect on the journey of the 8 laws, knowing each imperfect step held purpose. Write your personal recommitment ritual, a sacred practice to renew monthly. Join our community of spiritual law-keepers, where we witness each other's transformation. And most importantly, you will begin to feel you are not just a seeker, you are a living demonstration of the law. There is no miracle without a silent vow spoken to yourself. I will continue even when no one is watching. Florence Scovel Shinn. You have now walked through the 9 sacred laws, a microcosmic journey of the universe, with your soul at the center. This is the moment of closure, not to stop, but to initiate a new eternal cycle. Why you need a closing ritual. Every spiritual journey requires a threshold moment, not just understanding, but awakening. This final ritual helps you. Remember how you've changed. Transform lessons into living habits. Create a new vow, you become the living proof of the miracle. Florence wrote, "The disciplines you choose become the map to your treasure." This is your time to weave that map consciously, sacredly. Step-by-step ritual, a holy practice. Prepare your space. Find a quiet corner with a candle, a notebook, and a pen. Light a white candle, symbol of your purity and inner light. Step 1. Summarize the 9 laws in your journal. Write each law's name, plus 1 to 2 lines about how you practiced it. Example: law of assumption. I imagined wealth even when my account was low. Step 2. Name your 3 biggest inner transformations. What changed within you? Which emotions no longer control you? Step 3. Write your commitment for the month ahead. Examples: I commit to a 7-minute morning ritual daily. I commit to sacred giving once a week. I commit to sharing my journey with my community. Step 4. Bless yourself. Say, I bless my being for this journey. Place your hand on your heart and whisper, I am the light and I will shine. Step 5. End in sacred silence. Take 3 deep breaths, imagining the candlelight filling your body. Blow out the candle, but keep your inner flame ablaze. Many feel emotional realizing how much they've changed, only to drift back to old habits. Why? Because they lacked a sacred moment of clear covenant. When you perform this ritual, you don't just remember, you make a vow with your new self. Florence wrote, "A child may promise, but the adult fulfills." Now you are that adult. You stomp your foot and declare to your soul, you will continue. After completing your ritual, share below. What part of the ritual will be your milestone? What did you write in your commitment statement? How has this 9-part journey shifted something inside you? When you share, you don't just affirm your transformation. You open a path for others to walk into the same light you now carry. You have now laid your spiritual foundation. You have awakened your inner knowing. You have made a covenant with yourself. But the journey is just beginning. Next, the Circle of Light, our community of spiritual law practitioners, where you will meet fellow travelers on the path, share regular rituals, stories and transformations, learn through collective inquiry and gather in sacred circles, and rise together, each of us a light, but together a radiant web of awakening. See you in the next chapter, where you are no longer just a viewer. You are a companion, a miracle maker. A candle loses nothing by lighting another. Light expands, and it is through connection that great fires are born. Florence Scovel Shinn. After your deep individual journey through the 9 sacred parts, you are now ready to step into a new level community. Connection, collective light. This is no longer just about learning. It's about giving value and receiving amplified light in return. Why circles matter. Florence once said, the lonely are like seeds without soil. It is only through connection that your full power takes root. Alone, you are a candle. Together, we become a field of light, bright enough to chase away darkness and ignite hope in the hearts around us. In community, you will see your growth reflected through others' eyes. Feel supported when your energy wavers. gain new insights, offer support, and rise higher together. The community mindset. From isolation to collective power. Many believe spiritual work is a solo path, but in truth, every step you take becomes a model for someone else. A friend, a loved one, a stranger watching silently. When you share, "Today I completed my commitment ritual," you're saying, "If I can do it, so can you." And when someone replies, you feel, "I am not alone. I belong to something greater." How to build a community that radiates power. A. Weekly practice. Circles 3 to 5 people. Gather regularly to study and embody the 8 laws. Share commitments, struggles and breakthroughs. Activate weekend rituals. Light a candle together. Speak blessings aloud. B. The 7-day LinkedIn Light Challenge. Practice solo for 10 minutes daily. Post a short video or comment afterward to mark your connection. This is me showing up. C. Monthly connection live streams. Host online Zoom, YouTube Live, etc. No formal teaching, only shared stories. Small wins, real reflections. Foundational belief. No one stands on a stage. We reflect light in each other. If you've changed even a little, take a step to ignite your light. Comment, "I deserve connection." Share a short video about your favorite ritual. Tag one person and invite them into the circle of light. Each post, each reply is a flame. Every share lights another lamp in the night. Each connection strengthens the whole. You've now entered the field of connection. Now prepare for the concept of eternal circulation, where every ritual, every share, every act of light never ends. It becomes the center of a new ripple, a source for future generations. The final part, the eternal energy closing, will help you. Build your personal and collective light fund. Integrate the laws into real-life work-family purpose. Become a spiritual lighthouse so that those who are lost find your light and you're ready to guide. See you in the closing chapter, where you don't just shine light, you are the lamp impossible to extinguish. The seeds of wealth, joy, and love already exist within you, if only you believe, plant, and nourish them each day. Florence Scovel Shinn. And so we arrive at the closing of this journey. A path not traveled only with knowledge, but with your heart, your intuition, and your quiet courage. If you're reading these words now, it means you've chosen to stay with the most sacred part of yourself. No one arrives at this kind of teaching by accident. Perhaps the universe brought you here at the exact moment you needed a ray of light, a gentle reminder, or even an invisible embrace from the divine within you. And you know what? You are no longer the same. This is not the end. This is a sacred call to return to the law of obedience when you feel lost. Revisit your new identity when self-doubt whispers. Practice your ritual of light when you need to feel your own embrace again. Every ending is the start of a new cycle. And every new cycle is an invitation to live more deeply, to love more fully, to trust more fiercely. If you feel something has shifted inside you after this journey, no matter how small, write it down. And if your heart feels moved to do so, share in the comments. I've realized that. I want to begin again. You never know, your words may become the guiding light for someone else. You don't have to be perfect. We are not here to preach. We are here to walk with you, to stumble to rise, and to remember together. Click subscribe not just to receive the next video, but to remind yourself you are not alone. Share this video with someone who might need to be reminded of their worth. And if you're truly ready, write a commitment to yourself in the comments. We will read it, and we will hold it with you. Florence once said, "You are the prophet of your own life." Every word you speak, every image you imagine, is a prophecy waiting to be fulfilled. You are the miracle, you are the message, you are the light, and you were never meant to go dim.